Hello, everybody. This is Monica Kenton at the Spiritual Innovation Lab, and I'm going to talk to you about the energy of now. So I had so many different comments from people who were talking to me about the energy that I had shared a couple days ago about what's been going on for July and what's been going on for the whole year. So thank you for all of those comments and everything like that. And I've gotten a lot more comments from people where they're at this place where they see what's going on for themselves, right? They see that big vision, they see that big destiny, and then all of a sudden with everything that's happening, they kind of get derailed. And I understand that. We're having a lot of things happening right now. And so what I wanted to talk about is a story that kind of came to me this morning to share with all of you, especially in light of all of the stuff that's going on right now in the world. And that's the whole idea of destiny lines, right? And what are the destiny lines of the world? And I'm also going to talk about what are the destiny lines that go for yourself as well. So one of the things a long time ago, well, maybe about, when was it, 8-9 years ago, I was in shamanic training classes, and here in the U.S., so more of a Midwestern, not Midwestern, it was Midwestern, but in the Western tradition, but bringing the shamanic energy in. And one of the things that we were doing is bringing in the destiny lines of what we saw for the future, what we saw for the world in a bigger and deeper way, right? And it was really an interesting thing to see, because as we're all sitting there, you know, those of us who are in the spiritual vibe and we're wanting to bring in this bigger vision of what is possible. And what is interesting and what I learned back then is that there are various different destiny lines that we can choose, right? And we've seen it throughout our lives, where the decisions that we make put us on a different trail, on a different path, right? On a different destiny. And when we step into making proactive decisions and saying, okay, I want to really step into this piece of who I am, I want to really bring in more of a positive vibe, then our destiny lines shift, right? As we do personal work, as we really own the things that are holding us back, then we shift our destiny lines. And the same thing goes for the world as well. And all of us as individual people have a huge part to play in how that works. So going back to the story that I was telling you, when we were in shamanic circle doing this exercise, more than an exercise, but really envisioning what we wanted to see in the world, right? And so after the drumming, after everything that we had done, we all came back sharing what we had seen in the world. And a couple of the caveats before we went in were saying that we might see a lot of different visions. And it really was about bringing the best vision back to the present reality that we saw for the world, that we saw for the people. And it was interesting to see. There were many of us who saw a life in a world filled with peace, filled with more green, sustainable options, and water and nature and people getting along and all of that. And then there were some, and those were common visions that we all saw individually, and we came back and shared that, right? And then there were also some people who brought in this vision that they saw of a world in chaos and challenges and all of that. And it really goes to show and goes to tell all of us, right, that what is the vision that we are really looking for? What is the vision that we continue to cultivate, right? Are we continuing to cultivate that vision of what is possible out there? And it can be a challenge, especially right now, as we're seeing so many different things happening in the world. And we also get at this place with ourselves and we're just like, well, who am I? Who am I to really bring this vision forward, right? So as things are going on, as all of this craziness is happening, it's really important for you to go back and say, what is the vision that you have for the world? What is the vision that you have for yourself, right? Because, what's going on within us is also what's going on within the world. So where are you really focusing your attention? How are you going to focus it on what is the positive things going on, as well as be aware of what's happening and really start to cultivate that vision that you have for the world in a bigger way? right? And one of the ways of doing that from a practical perspective is really getting clear on your destiny, right? Where has it kind of been derailed? Where has it been not really stepping forward? So there's been this challenging energy, especially right now with everything going on, where people are in that space of saying, things are going on. So fears are being enacted in all of us for good reason. And at the same time, we're getting these like visions of what we're meant to do and how we're meant to go out into the world in a bigger way. And that's from everybody, right? So it can be whatever it is that you are doing in the world, you have a part to play in this, right? So I'm just sharing this information because we all have destiny lines, right? I mean, I was a Spanish teacher for 21 years and then went off onto the whole shamanic path and then went on to another path. And now I'm getting back onto another one that jazzes me. So those are the things. Where is the destiny line that you're choosing? What is the vision that you have? And how are you continuing to make your way? In these days right now, we're being given the opportunity, like all kinds of synchronicities and things are happening in our personal lives to say, hey, you know what, that idea that you had still is viable. Why don't you go for that? Or that idea that you had, you know what, that was an older version of you. So being aware, where is your destiny? How are you going forward on that? Is the same way that the earth is going forward on their destiny, because we're all related. We're all one, right? So if you are in this place, and I've been there so many times where it's just like, I can't do it. I don't know how. This isn't going to happen. There's no way my dream can become a reality. How can you imagine that for the earth, right? Of what is possible. So start really looking at yourself, as well as combining that optimism that you have for yourself and combining that optimism of what is possible for the world as well, right? Because as you go forward in your destiny, then you're also creating the destiny for the world in a bigger and brighter way. Because I know all of you who are listening to this are in that place of really saying, yeah, I see a brighter future. And still being aware of what's going on and being aware of what's being triggered and letting that go, right? So I just wanted to quick talk a little bit about the destiny lines of the world, the destiny lines of ourselves, and how they're really interconnected in a really awesome and beautiful way. So one of the other things that I wanted to do, which I put on this Facebook Live, well, first, if there's any comments, feel free to ask any questions. But the other piece that I wanted to bring forward today is more of a channeled, what I say, power of love, meditation, song activation, for you as well as for the world, as well as for the earth, right? Because that is, and the earth and the people and all of that, right? So what I'd really like you to do, this is something that I do, it's sound that comes from me and it's channeled from the earth going back out to you. So it's really about, for all of us and for all of you, as you do two different things, right? Stepping into the destiny of who you are, stepping into more of your heart-centered wisdom. What gives you joy? What gives you passion? What really lights you up, right? For yourself, and then how can you transform that and bring it out into the world in a beautiful way. And today, the world is really needing it, and especially certain countries, certain places around the world. So, two things, right? Yourself as well as the world. So what I would love all of you to do is, and if this is new to you, this kind of channeled medicine song, go with it. And if it's, you know, it's all good. It's all good. So taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Connecting in deep with your heart, right? Deep with your heart's wisdom, deep with your soul's connection, right? For yourself as well as for the world, right? A deep breath in from that heart center and then out. And from this place, I just would love for you to just bring that breath in, because breath means life. Breath means inspiration. Breath means inspiring, breathing life into. How are you going to breathe more life into yourself? How are you going to breathe more life into the world? And as you continue that breath, I'm going to do a little song for you so you can close your eyes. You can enjoy whatever it is that you'd like to do. Okay? Sharing that love that you have for yourself as well as for the world. Oh, yeah, 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 ooh, yeah, ooh, 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 taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Sharing your love with the world, a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Sharing that love that you have for the world and for everyone, sharing that with yourself, a big breath in and out. The destiny of who you are, the destiny of what God, Spirit, Universe has given to you, the destiny has all been shown to you. You take the choices, you take the path, and make sure that it's coming from that heart-centered place. And when it doesn't feel right in the heart, then give yourself the opportunity to understand, what is the learning lesson I'm learning? How am I to step back onto that path of my destiny? And doing it in a way that is so joyful and amazing. And as you do that, you do the same for the earth, right? The same for other people, the same for other countries. Sharing your love by the love of whatever it is your gift is. When you share that, you're sharing it with the world in such a bigger way. So I thank all of you for joining. I continue to do these Facebook Lives. And I always tell people after one of these medicine songs that energy starts to shift. Really listen to what's going on. If you want to know more, feel free to always subscribe to these Facebook Lives or go to monicakenton.com where I share different things. But really stepping into that heart-centered path for yourself. And feel free to share this with anybody who you know could use it. And remember, sending love, love, love to all of those places out there. And because there's so much that is needed. And it starts with you. It starts with your heart. and what you've come here to do. Peace, much love. Have an amazing, amazing day. Thank you.